So when I say smart, what I mean is they have the appropriate skill set in order to manipulate, which means understanding how my behavior affects your feelings, affects your thinking, and affects your behavior subsequently. So that could be because they read a lot of books on psychology. So they're very smart in that intellectual sense and the academic sense. And that is a really great place to be, whether you want to do good or bad, but having that knowledge is very key. But they could also be smart in experience-wise, or, I've done this before and it worked. So they've learned and they've picked up those tricks. They could naturally be very instinctive, and they can also, having a lack of empathy can allow you to do the things that you need to do to get what you want without the barriers that the everyday person will come across. Because say I want something from you, but I know in order to get that thing, it could cause you harm. My empathy is going to stop that. It's going to be a barrier because I don't want to hurt you. Even if I have the knowledge that if I do this, I can get what I want. Now, someone who is very manipulative, they have that same knowledge of if I do this, I can get what I want, but they don't have that empathy barrier. So for them, they use the skill set that other people could use, but they don't. So
because of empathy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it can be because they've learned it through past relationships. It can be instinctive of I've done this and people just respond well. And some people are just naturally very charismatic. And through that, they learn how people respond to them, and it reinforces that skill set. And then some people do the reading. And what I do find is people who are generally more intellectual, and that doesn't mean they're going out there, running businesses, but they do take the time to understand human thinking. They are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous, because I teach my influence and persuasion framework. And I train this to Secret Service. I train it to federal organizations and businesses in order to try and do good. But of course, that same skill set could be used for bad. And you can encourage the use for good. But understanding how people think in the wrong hands can be a very dangerous tool. So it's a very hard thing to control because there's so much knowledge out there. There's so much out there. If you have bad intentions, you can utilize.
It's interesting, actually. Joe Navarro, who I know you know, former FBI agent for those that don't, he said that one of the biggest misses that people who are victimized by people like this have, their biggest miss, is that you don't know that there are people out there that will just hurt you because they can, who they are.
Never put anything past anyone.